Well, the interstate has reopened in Rutherford County after a serious crash overnight. The crash was reported around 1:30 this morning on I-24 eastbound between Waldron Road and the Sam Ridley Parkway exits. All lanes were shut down eastbound for several hours. Highway Patrol says someone may have been ejected from one of the vehicles involved. Stay with News 2 and WKRN.com for updates. Metro Police working to identify this man who robbed a bank in Donaldson. He hit the Fifth Third on Donaldson Pike just north of the airport around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say he walked in with his face covered, announcing he was robbing the place and claimed to have a gun. If you know who he is, call Nashville Crime Stopper 615-74-CRIME. A day to honor, remember, and teach our future generations about the sacrifices made by our country's veterans and their families. Brooke Reese is here to explain more about the importance of wreaths across America. Brooke? A community will come together today to say goodbye to a counselor brutally murdered inside her Madison office. Melissa "Missy" Hamilton was stabbed to death earlier this month at Crossroads Counseling on Gallatin Pike South. A celebration of life will be held at 2 this afternoon at Christ Life Community in Smyrna. Brian Conley is charged in Hamilton's murder. Police say the two did not know each other, and Conley was not a client. An Antioch woman has died months after she was stabbed during a case of extreme domestic violence. Metro Police say back in October, Eric Lopez stabbed his wife, then himself, at their home on WILDGROVE Drive in Antioch. Officers tell us Maria Salvador died yesterday from her injuries. Lopez will now be charged with criminal homicide. Police in Laverne have already found 2 victims of an alleged polygamist, and they're still looking for more. A chance encounter broke open this case. Police say 2 of the victims found out about each other through a mutual friend who realized they had the same husband. Officers are investigating Theodore Pointer III on charges of bigamy and identity theft. One woman tells us Pointer asked her to marry him after just 3 days.
Very charming, very attentive at first. He listened, he was funny, and he was also good looking, so I hope that he finally gets what he deserves.
Police say he also goes by the name Noah Muhammad. They ask any other victims to give them a call. Happening today, find a new furry friend in time for the holidays for a reduced price. Bissell Pet Foundation is sponsoring a nationwide Clear the Shelters. You can adopt a pet today for $25 or less. 121 shelters and rescues all taking part. That includes Nashville Humane Association, a shelter in Newport, and one over in Memphis. The Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society is included as well. Pretty cool stuff there. Well, new this morning, a month-long campaign raised thousands of dollars for Toys for Tots. Jimmy Hiller, the owner of Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, took his grandkids yesterday to pick out gifts at Target. Their goal, to bring the joy of Christmas to children who are less fortunate. The money for the gifts came from a promise he made to that organization.
We donated an initial $5,000, and then we partnered with our customers and Toys for Tots. For every tankless water heater we installed, $100, and we're here today to buy $5,000 worth of toys for these children.
Well, in addition, Hiller also decided to lower the price of the tankless water heaters by $250 as an extra incentive to get people in the door so he could, in return, buy more gifts. Over the years, Toys for Tots has distributed more than 566 million toys to kids in need since it was created by the U.S. Marines. The Titans have declared a code blue ahead of Sunday's big matchup at Nissan Stadium. That means fans headed to the game must wear blue. But it'll take more than that code blue for the Titans to pull off a win against the Texans. Corey Curtis breaks it all down for us. Well, pilots in the Army and Navy are preparing to pull off a spectacle in Philadelphia today. It's the Army-Navy football game. On the field, Navy's quarterback Malcolm Perry is preparing for the biggest game of his senior year. Perry is a Clarksville native, now leading one of the top 25 college teams in the country. He was also picked to be a team captain before the season started. We caught up with Perry's mom earlier this week.
Every year they wear a patch on their uniform to represent something. The last year he wore the 101st patch in honor of me and his dad.
Okay.
This year he's wearing the 105th Attack Squadron. It's an Air Force unit in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
And when he was home this summer, they invited him up there. He toured their facility and told him he'd wear their patch at the game,
cool.
so he'll have that on.
Making Clarksville very proud. His mother says Perry is proud of his Tennessee roots. The Army-Navy game is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon. Well, this sounds amazing here. Thousands of pounds of candy spilled right onto the interstate. That includes, as you see there, some M&Ms. We'll tell you what happened and how long that cleanup took coming up. Back to the news now. A woman in Nashville has been arrested after police say she caused another driver to run off the road. News 2's Alex Cordetti is at the alert desk with those details. Alex, well, thousands of pounds of candy spilled onto a Tennessee interstate after a crash that involved 2 semis. Everyone okay here, so that is the good news. One truck was traveling on the I-40 East ramp in Knoxville yesterday when the driver swerved into a ditch to avoid a truck that was parked on the shoulder. The semi went into the ditch, hit a concrete barrier and rolled, crashing into a second semi. The overturned truck was apparently carrying 35,000 pounds of candy, as you see in the images there. That does include mint M&Ms. Oof. Well, many are outraged at the slew of pardons former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin signed before leaving office. Brooke Reese is here with some of that reaction. A health alert this morning for the flu. Public health officials in Kentucky confirm 4 people have died. They are all adults, but it's not clear what counties they were in. Tennessee has not confirmed any deaths, but flu activity is at the top of the scale. A breaking news alert now. This involves the assault of a Georgia reporter on live TV. Authorities have now arrested the man accused. Alex Cordetti is following this from the alert desk. Alex? Well, a 13-year-old boy has been arrested in the murder of the great niece of legendary Tennessee coach Johnny Majors. Tessa Majors was walking through a park in Manhattan Wednesday night when she was attacked and fatally stabbed during a robbery. Detectives say they do not believe the 13-year-old actually killed Majors, but that he gave the knife to her killer. Detectives believe there may be as many as 3 people involved.
Those responsible, however many there may be, will be brought to justice.
The 13-year-old is facing charges of murder, robbery, and weapons possessions in Majors' death. A 14-year-old suspect is also now being questioned. Police are looking for a man who is accused of shooting at his estranged wife outside a business in Cool Springs. Franklin police say 35-year-old Gabriel Jordan shot at his wife on Seaboard Lane around 7:45 last night. We're told she was not wounded. The suspect took off in a small black 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. Gabriel is considered to be armed and dangerous, so if you see him, call 911 right away. The Franklin mother and son, who investigators say died in a murder-suicide, will be laid to rest today. A relative found Rachel and Asher Narancich dead this week at a home on Mueller Street. The medical examiner believes the mother shot and killed her 12-year-old son, then took her own life. Investigators have not said why. Asher was a 7th grader at Page Middle School. Columbia police have issued an alert for this missing teenager. Take a look. Officers say 16-year-old John Michael Fish was last seen yesterday morning when he was leaving for school. He was wearing a black hoodie and gray sweatpants, police say. If you know where he is, call officers in Columbia. 5 dogs that reportedly attacked a home health nurse in East Tennessee have all been euthanized. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Office says the dogs bit the 25-year-old nurse while she was at a patient's home yesterday. She reportedly suffered 150 cuts. Deputies say the owner of the dogs asked that all 5 be put down. It's not clear just yet if anyone will be charged. New information about an armed robbery investigation in Wilson County. The Sheriff's Office says they have identified the man who robbed the Linwood BP Marathon on Linwood Road back on December 11th. They still need your help to find him, though. The armed man left the gas station in a silver or gray Chevy Equinox seen here, heading toward Nashville on I-40. A group that brings Christmas to kids every year has been hit by a thief, and the timing couldn't be worse. They're a few days away from their annual toy giveaway. Thieves stole thousands of dollars in Christmas gifts for families in need from Big Brothers of Mount Juliet. The trailer was filled with toys and gifts donated by Amazon for the Mother's Toy Store, which is scheduled for next weekend.
They took Christmas away from all these children. I wonder how they sleep at night.
So if you want to help, bring donations to the front lobby at the Mount Juliet Police Department. Happening today, Metro Police are hoping to pull in some donations for the Special Olympics. Pulling for a Purpose is today in the parking lot at Nissan Stadium. The goal here, to see who can pull the police department's Rescue 2 the fastest. With a $200 donation, teams of 10 are able to take part. All the funds raised go toward Special Olympic athletes. Registration starts in about an hour and a half at 10 a.m. The first pull is set for 11. Going to be a fun time there. Second Harvest Food Bank is in need of basic non-perishable items at their newly opened branch in Rutherford County. Toyota of Murfreesboro is now a drop-off site for the goods seen right there on your screen. The food bank is in need of everything from peanut butter to canned soup, rice, and cereal. The dealership will collect items from now until New Year's Eve, when they're going to be driving the donations over to Second Harvest Food Bank. Don't forget, you can follow us over on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have you covered around the clock, on air, online, and on the go. Much more Good Morning Nashville coming up right after the break.